Oh, yeah. It has been a good minute, people. How the heck is everyone doing? It's been a while. I was on vacation with the fam. It was a lot of fun, but we are back, and I have been itching to play some more Zelda, if I'm honest. I love this game. Let's go, Dunk Nasty. What is up? Now, if I remember correctly, we have gotten ourselves into a big mess in terms of what we're doing with the temples. And I believe, if I am correctly mistaken, as one said, we are at... Hey, Jen Nasty, the Nasty fam is here. Hello to the Nasty fam. We are at the water temple, I believe. I think that's what we decided on, because we got the ice arrows, which are going to be amazing in the water temple. Or at least, there's at least one good use of the ice arrows in the water temple. So I believe that's what we are doing now. Hopefully, oh, of course, my Bigoron sword. My Bigoron sword. Did I talk to Sheik, by the way? I'm pretty sure I did. Yes, just checking. That's right, because we did the funny thing where you clearly have the Bigoron sword, and you're going to drop the Bigoron sword. And then as soon as you're about to do that, it just magically transforms into the Master Sword. Anyway, just to show you guys that animation. So we are fresh off of... We'll go ahead and grab the Master Sword. We are fresh off of being monetized on this channel. So thank you all, every single one of you who have contributed, whether it be subscribing to this channel because you love retro games as much as I do, or just being here. Being here, the watch time hours, and all of that. And of course, always liking these videos because they do help me reach a wider audience. And that has certainly helped. In case some of you did not know, YouTube just pissed off potentially millions of people by having to... You now have to get double the watch time hours or shorts views for monetization, for like the big monetization, because this first tier is basically nothing. Like, I think you add super chats. Oh, I just freaking noticed that you can add super chats to this thing. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. We have only just started, but that's fine. So I added a little thing. This is the first time I have been able to do that. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but that is a possibility. I do think that super chats probably give you less money as a creator than my Buy Me a Coffee link. So if you're actually interested in donating some money to the channel, ironically enough, the Buy Me a Coffee link, I think, kicks back like 93% to me, whereas YouTube is like takes away at least 30%. So if you feel obligated to donate, I shamelessly plug myself, and I would say the Buy Me a Coffee link is a lot better than super chats, but they are here nonetheless. So I appreciate all of you for that. Are we going straight to... We do. We have all of this. I have forgotten because it's been about 2 weeks. Maybe a little less than 2 weeks. I have been at the ocean. I went to Daytona Beach, and it was a lot of fun. Took the kids there. Their experience of the ocean. They got to experience that. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, we've not done pose. Sorry, my brain is a fog from trying to remember everything. We have this tunic and we have the iron boots, so I guess technically that's enough to get us into the water temple. We don't need anything else that I can think of. Obviously we have the Serenade of Water to get us to Lake Hylia. And we have a hook shot because that's like the first thing we got when we turn into an adult. So it's a funny array. In case you are joining us for the first time here, it's a funny array of items because we're doing everything out of order. which I think I put in my thumbnail and all the subsequent thumbnails for these videos. By the way, that also leads me to tell you guys to check out the playlist. We have all of these live streams I have put into a video playlist, so you can always go back and check them out. But of course, we are live today, so let's do this. Today is Water Temple Day. So some of you absolutely hate the Water Temple. I am of the thought that the Water Temple, once you know it really well, is actually pretty boring. It's more of a time suck than it is a difficulty. And then there's that whole thing where the items are in development. We're sort of scrambled around because they had to change the order of things sort of last minute. So the deal with the ice arrows is a funny one, which we're going to talk about. Which we have talked about in the past, but it will be relevant here. My computer right now is a rocket ship. It is trying to take off. All the fans are on. I hope you guys can't hear that. My microphone is, I don't know, a foot away, but not pointed in that direction. Bam, here we go. Everyone's favorite. The Water Temple. I do like the music, but as I said, this temple is very repetitive, and sound is good. Don't think I can hear the fans. All right, perfect. All the good fan sounds. Now, I have not played this temple on a 1.0 cartridge, so I do remind you guys who are watching, or if you're new here, I always say that, if you're new here, this is a version 1.0 cartridge, the rarest of the cartridges that came out. So I don't know what the changes are in this particular temple. I don't think there are necessarily any changes in this temple. The fire temple is a big one, which we will get to eventually. But as for right now, your very first order of business is to go to the two torches. It's what I call the two torches room. And that's where Princess Rudo is going to be waiting for us. Spoilers, I know. I think we're opposite that side. And these are, yeah, these little spiky ball things are wonderful. This is the two torches room. You're going to remember this because it's going to be a place where we are going to come back to quite a bit. I sure am. Your fiance. This is hilarious because this is one of my funny moments that I clipped the last time I played this game. I made a short out of it. Link is about to audibly gasp because she remembers that you are her fiance, because that's what the deal was when she gave you the sapphire when you were a kid. But he's gasping, but he's underwater. So here it is. There. And all the bubbles coming out of Link is hilarious to me. I never forgot the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. Of course not. You're a terrible man. Yeah, maybe now's not the time to talk about that. While we're underwater, and there is a monster in this lake. I want to save them all. Has anyone heard about any remake stories or any news about remake stuff? Because I have heard vague things about changes, possible changes. I know it's not come out yet. Possible changes to some of the game stuff. She's wrong. You actually did save Zora. Yeah, I think she means the people, though. The Zora people. Not the Zora. Unless she said King Zora specifically. I don't think she said King Zora. So that is officially the last time we see her there until we finish this entire temple. So she just says, hey, follow me. And then that's pretty much it. Now, for those of you who have played this on the 3DS, or even like the Master Quest, I don't know if the Master Quest fixed the whole thing with the boots. I think only the 3DS version switched the ability to change out your boots as an item rather than as a like an equipment inventory. What word am I looking for? Your attire is a different subset than the C buttons. That's what I mean. So having to do this and change your boots in the equipment versus select items makes this whole thing very, very annoying. Alright. First order of business. I like the pausing, not gonna lie. Okay. Some people really, really hate it. Especially people, I mean, I've gotten so used to doing the water temple a certain way that it's basically just annoying at this point to have to just always pause and like you can't do this if you speed run through this temple without glitches and all that crap. It still takes like an hour and 20 minutes to finish this temple, let alone me talking. Okay, first key. We're gonna get quite a few keys, I think, before we didn't get the map. Respect. Yeah, the map is up. Don't need that. Don't need that. I'm sure we'll eventually work our way back up there, but for right now, that key, and then you're basically already on a beeline to what is eventually going to be the place we're going to go. This is how I think of this map. To dumb it all the way down is there is a room here at the bottom that you can only access when the water level is halfway up. And the way to get there is to fight Link, Dark Link. You can do this in 40 minutes start to finish. Not bombing the floor saves a good bit of it. Oh, you mean this thing? This thing? You must know a better way than I. There might be a way to do that, I guess. Do I need to go down here? There are rooms that I forget that I don't absolutely need to go to, but I end up going there anyway. There's also that annoying section where this is just a Skulltula. Oh, you must know this even better than I do then. I always have to re-show my brain how to do this thing. There is one annoying platform where after loads of, putting boots on and taking boots off to get up, one of them is not high enough and you have to use the hook shot just to get up. I find that super, super annoying. And so you end up having to put your boots back on just so you can shoot the target and then remove your boots so you can walk around again. It's just it's a whole thing. That's kind of why I said it's more annoying. It's almost like I don't know what to say about it. It's a boredom fest. I think this is actually the one I was talking about. See how it's just a little bit lower? The water level is just a little bit lower. So you have to take your boots off, put the iron boots on so you can hook shot the target back up. And if you forget that, after doing all of this, that's when it happens. Add that to the fact that I'm an obsessive saver. So every time I change my iron boots. Okay, so this, I believe this gets you into the room. There's a key over here for sure. And it gets you into the room where the water is like a whirlwind. It's like a whole thing. But there is a key on this side. And it's just, yeah, that's what I was trying to say here, this water thing. So I always put my boots on right in this little corner before it like whips you around. Right? So you got to do two things. You hit that crystal and it opens a gate that you can't quite see from this angle. But I know it's there, rather than have to be annoying and do it again. And then if you don't mess it up, then you don't get hit by the stupid spiky clam thing. Same thing on the way back out. You can just... So you have to hit this. Now some people like to put a bomb here and you get a lot more time. I don't care for that. Not even a little bit. I'm gonna take the damage probably. Like just getting out of here. There we go. I believe there's also a Skulltula in this room. Maybe not. It's like high up on the wall. No, I'm thinking of the middle room where you have to drop through the hole. That everyone forgets to. So there is a spot over there. That's coming later. There's a hole up there in the wall. Having the Bigoron sword is a flex in this this early. Okay, so again, I will. This time I remembered. But yeah, you took off your boots to put the iron boots on, and then you take them off because you want to swim up, and then you realize that there's a hook shot thing, so you have to take them back off, change them up again. Do it again, then take your boots off. That's why the item thing is fun. But Dunk Nasty says he likes the pausing. So as of now, I've got two. I believe this is the room that I said is the one we. In my head, how this whole temple works is get to this room with the amount of keys that are needed. There's a spiky door. Let's actually just go ahead and do that real quick. Yeah. So to get over there, you need a key, but you also need a long shot to get over there. You can't make that. So the whole point of this temple, I'm calling that basically the midpoint, is to get to that room. And to get to that room, we've got to fight Dark Link. That's how I see it. That's how I approach this temple. And then from there on, it's pretty much linear in terms of finishing up. So this is the room that everyone this is funny. So I don't know, Dunk Nasty, how many different versions of this game you have played, but apparently after you play the Zelda's Lullaby up here to raise the water level to the midpoint, I'm calling it midpoint. You go up one level. There's really only two levels of water. It's none, 1, which gets you to the second floor, and then 2, which gets you to the top floor where you came in, which is also where your boss fight is. So as soon as you play this song, there is the shortest cinematic cutscene of you just standing on this platform, and then that platform below you comes up. And apparently, the developers thought that was too short of a window, and so many people were getting confused in the Water Temple that in the Master Quest and 3DS versions, they made that cutscene longer. Like, they physically added more time to the cutscene so that you were sure that you saw that hole, because if you didn't, you had no idea where to go next. So that was apparently a complaint of sorts. Here it is. 1 Mississippi. That's all I got. I got 1 Mississippi. There's a hole there. If I looked away and got my drink, I would have never seen that spot. And that's the complaint that people had. So, I don't believe I have enough keys to just go down here. Oh, by the way, there's also a Skulltula. You need the long shot. It's high up. I believe maybe Scarecrow Song will get you there. Not sure. But there is a Skulltula way up there. Too far for the regular hook shot. Is it too far for the Scarecrow Song? I don't know. Let's try it. I don't see a green Navi anywhere, so yep, I guess not. So I don't remember how many. Am I going to require a key to get the next key is kind of my question. So let's just go through here. Let's do this now before we forget. And it may be a case that I can't do this yet, but we'll see. I think you can. It's just a bunch of, yeah, this door that opens up. And then a bunch of these spiky things come out. The spiky clam things. The deadly oysters. Does anyone find these as annoying as I do? They're not good enemies, but it's like, what else do you put as an underwater enemy? So I guess they did a good job. I guess they did a good job. If there is, I guess, sort of any complaint about the water temple, it's that because the boots and everything are a limitation to you moving around, then there really isn't anything else you can do in terms of like fighting stuff. So I guess they came up with, like I said, those enemies being really just annoying rather than something physically dooming, impending. That's what they came up with. I suppose other water dungeons and places in other Zelda games did a better job of that. Some new enemies in the remake would be good, though. Yeah, something, or maybe if they fix sort of the boot mechanic situation, and I don't mean in like the 3DS way that they fixed it. I mean something else that would make this more fresh, would change up the enemies. Perhaps. I don't know. So, now that we are halfway, now that we have the water level to half, you go back to the room where you saw Princess Ruta, which I believe is right below me. Yes. And now you can bomb the wall, and I believe there's one more key there. Perfect. So this is one people forget. Come back to this spot. And I'm sure, Dunk Nasty, you probably have like a perfect order. You said you do this in about 40 minutes. Maybe there's like a perfect order that you can do this in, because all the extra backtracking absolutely makes this for just a horrible experience gameplay-wise. Getting all your keys and stuff. So I believe one of these... Oh, am I in the wrong spot? I thought there were... Maybe it's a different room. There's two bottles. Or, not two bottles. There's a fairy in some ceramic pots. Maybe that's not the one. Okay. So we have one more position that will... It's the boss room key. Alright. We have 3 keys. So what I've got now is... Which room was this one? This is the one with the hole. The bombable hole. Yes, we did that already. You said that was a gold Skulltula. So the next room is going all the way up the platform. Up to, and which one was this? That's the room I talked about where you need the long shot. Yeah, I'm confused. I know where I'm going. I meant in terms of what is in each room. So where we're going is to raise the water level all the way up, because there is a key door It's like the one that's right above us. I guess it's on the other side. Over here. This key door gets you across. It gets you to where you can raise the water level. Maybe I said that the wrong way. There's a spider. Tektite. I'm sure there are speedrunners who hit that crystal, and you can actually, if you time your jump with the sword just right, you can actually navigate through a waterfall, like, or geyser, whatever you want to call that thing. I always get hit by this Tektite. Well, now I have the Bigoron sword, so maybe I won't. Haha! Bigoron sword for the win. Okay, so now it's the same. So it looks the same. You just came from a door that looked like this, and now we're going to another one that looks very similarly. So now there's a couple interesting things in this room. One, there is a gold skull that you need a long shot for, way up on the right side, over there, very far away. Now the second thing is apparently there's a platform down here. I don't know who told me this or reminded me of this, but there is actually a hole down here. Maybe I'll fall down through here and do this on purpose, but there is somewhere in this room, or maybe down through here. Was it you, Dunk Nasty? There's a spot where you can fall down and it's just like a hole. Is it just here? I don't actually know where this is, so I'm gonna look around a bit, or you can tell me in the chat. That's totally fine. I do remember that there is something here in this platform room. Off to the side? I don't know. It's at the bottom center of the waterfall. The bottom center of the waterfall. Like, do I just drop down there? Do I just do it? I'm just gonna do it for science. I guess that would be a good way to get back up to this primary door if you needed to get that Skulltula or whatever. The bottom center of the far side. Oh, you mean over there? The bottom center of the waterfall. You mean the top end of it? Alright, we'll try it. I always thought it was sort of fun to do this. You can just like endlessly climb through here. If you're like perfectly slow. I think you can actually hookshot to the next one. So usually I hookshot up to that target. You're saying there's a spot in here you can get to. There's a spot right here. Should be close to the bottom. Close to the... I'm not sure what you mean, close to the bottom. The bottom where I jumped off like 2 minutes ago? Or do you mean this top portion? I'm not sure what you mean. So if I look down, is it that way? Or is it underneath the platform that I'm standing on? Cult of Glenda, welcome. We are in this beautiful platform room that apparently there's like a secret spot. There's like a secret somewhere in here. So we are messing around. If you know where the thing is. Near the bottom, but before the pit. So is that why this platform is here, or is it just to, Is that it? It's hard to tell. There's like a little hole to stand in. Like, let yourself get carried almost all the way down. Okay. I mean, I'm willing to fall all the way off the platform. Because I did. That's the second time. This is interesting only because I've never done this. You told me this, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Is it just following, like, the platform? Like, the platform seemed to just hide underneath. Maybe that's what it is. Like, they have a spot to go in to recede into the waterfall. Except last time I did that, I fell off. I just fell off. It's like right... just as soon as this pulls into the wall, I guess there's a spot underneath it? How would I get there? I can't tell if I'm looking at a CRT TV. We're gonna find this thing. I guess I have to be under the platform, because if I'm above it, then it just slides into the spot and you can't really make it. Huh. I can sort of, maybe I'm losing my mind, or maybe I can sort of make out something there. Otherwise, I'm just like losing hearts. Is it just a plate? Oh, I lost some health there. Just a place to stand on, like right underneath the platform. There it is. Did I get it? Is this it? You can kind of see it. That was it? I don't know if that counts. If you're just like right here before it leaves you, because it's gonna fall off. Yeah, I just jumped off. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'll do it one more time, because it feels like if you just wait just the right amount of time. Is it like right under? Nah, I don't know. I'm not sure that that's a platform so much as it is just like the platform that's moving, I mean. It's just it. And you can't really go anywhere else. Every time. Because I can't stay there indefinitely. Like, once the platform moves, it's done. Yeah, it's not as much of a permanent cutout as I thought. Yeah, I don't think it is a cutout. I think it's just the platform. And for like a brief second, you can stand in that spot until it just completely disappears. Then it's kind of done. So, oh well. Alright, we've got a key here, and we've added, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes to our gameplay. But no worries. Ah, this lovely room. Actually, it's not bad. It's, again, it's just, it's tedium, really, is how I see it. It's just very tedious. So this leads you to Dark Link. So the awesome thing about Dark Link, there's many awesome things about Dark Link. Number one, he has the amount of health that you have when you walk into the room. Meaning, I have too many hearts right now, and defeating him is going to be annoying. However, I have the Bigoron sword, which he does not have. You gonna give him a chance and use the Master Sword? Not a chance. We got the Bigoron sword for a reason. And this is one of the perks of having the Bigoron sword. Otherwise, I would kind of be forced to do it this way. I actually think these likes are terrible. This one like that's up here is always super annoying to me, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the spikes. It's the spikes, is what it is. At least you don't have the hammer. Yeah, you could defeat him. Actually, even funnier than defeating him too quickly is having the items, and you can actually make it to where he sort of learns your movement, and then the hammer doesn't just easily defeat him. So like, I found that if you switch around too much, he sort of learns how you're switching. Not that he can use a hammer or a Bigoron sword or anything like that, but it doesn't come quite as simply. So your first strike with a Master Sword, and then you switch over to like the hammer or the Bigoron sword, and you instantly take him out. But if you keep switching around, he learns your movements, and it becomes annoying. So, but potentially you could come in here with like 0 hearts. What's up, Link Slayer? You are here just on time, because behind this wall, behind this door, is our favorite, or my favorite, Dark Link. So now I'm questioning whether I should just come in here with like very little health, or should I just fight him with a Bigoron sword? The other thing is the echo. The crazy amount of reverb that they added to this room is absolutely incredible, because when you finally take him out, he makes an absolute whale of a sound, and it's just, the scream is haunting, I think, because it's yourself. It's your own self. And then, of course, the other thing that is super cool, I guess we're already popping in here, but in case you didn't know this tiny detail, which I'm sure many of you do, you can see your reflection right before you cross this tree. Once you cross this tree, your reflection disappears. It is gone. It's like it's been taken from you. And of course, that's exactly what's happened. So when you turn around, he's already there. If you look closely, he's already there. I love when the scenery changes after the fight. Makes it so dreamlike. I think this is like the dream. This is like Silent Hill, where you can't see the edges. It's like what else? The hyperbolic chamber in Dragon Ball Z, where there's no edges. It's just infinity, right? This is like a dream. And it's like he's waking up. So there he is. And all you get is dark. Conquer yourself. So I do like that when you, let's just do this real quick. We'll take a couple hits for the sake of this video and for the sake of science. We don't want to make this too short. So after you hit him a few times, he just mocks you by standing on your sword. And I think that's so cool. There is another thing that's really funny is before you strike him, he's not going to do anything to you until like the first moment you actually get some hits on him. But after that, yeah, he'll just, at any moment, he's going to smack you. And then, I don't know if this is true, but if you Z-target, it makes your fight a whole lot harder. So if you don't Z-target at all, it's going to make it easier, which of course is counterintuitive to everything you have learned about Zelda Ocarina of Time. So when you're, obviously this is the first time you've ever, this is 1998, and Z-targeting has basically just been invented for this game. And that's how you learn to fight. And now, you don't want to do that, because he's always behind you. But yeah, you Z-target, and it ruins it. Okay, so now, like I said, now that I've already hit him, now he's going to hit you no matter what. So, you don't have that, where he's always going to hit you like this. So, now, two things. You can always switch out to the Goron tunic, and of course, we have our beautiful trusty Bigoron sword. He locks on you to make it easier to, yeah. So he's actually still getting hits on you, but you don't have a shield to defend against that. So all you've got now is, I think I've got 13 hearts. You defeat yourself for 5 rupees. And then, woof, the floor changes, which is very cool. Look at that effect. It's so awesome. That's where we came in from. So we're going that way. But now the room has edges. It is not an illusion anymore. But this is still a big room. In fact, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. This is like the biggest single objective room in the game. Like, there's nothing else in here after you've cleared out this mini-boss. I mean, there are bigger rooms for sure, in temples and, long hallways and all of that without load screens. But as far as just a big room, I kind of wonder, for those of you who have played Breath of the Wild, if when you do those like major and minor and moderate tests of strength, to me, it looks like this room. I have always seen it as this room. I think that's super cool. Like, just a big room to fight in. That's all it is. So much room for activities. One bunk bed and a garage with my car, maybe in the other corner. And that's it. A refrigerator for snacks. That's all you need. And you can live in here, right? I can see it. Oh, you mean the room? Yeah, the test of strength in Breath of the Wild is just this giant room. But don't let this distract you from, Hector. He's got 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines, or whatever it is from Fast and Furious. Oh man, all the memes. All right. T66 turbos and the long shot extends twice as far. Alright, let's do this. Go back to our thing. I guess it automatically, you just have a long shot now. I'm not close enough to the block. I think it's gonna make me play the song again. Nope, all good. So we're down to 0 keys. And this is the Vortex room. And I believe there's another Skulltula down here as well. Oh, thank you, Navi. This is what I needed. If you're standing on top of it, it doesn't work. I didn't know that. I just didn't think I was close enough to it to activate it. Good old Vortex room. I like to navigate this by missing the first one. And then I put my boots on. Make it a little bit easier. If you get trapped in that spot, there's like no way out of it, out of the vortex. I know, we've missed other gold Skulltulas, but it's whatever. I've actually been making, for those of you who have been watching, I have been making some shorts of difficult gold Skulltulas from my last playthrough when I 100%ed this game. I don't remember if there's like arrows or something over there, which you don't need. Unless you, unless you 50 arrows and don't hit this target 50 times, then you need the arrows over there. There's fairies, okay. One of them is an arrow. And then the other one, I guess, is a fairy, if you're bad enough to get stuck in this room. Key. Alright, this is the room we were talking about earlier, where it's got this thing. And now that we have the long shot, so as I said earlier, my outline for this entire room is going to the spiky room at the bottom. Now that we have the long shot, and making our way to that room. So I believe we are... But I told you this temple isn't that long. You're almost done. True. True. It's just, like I said, it's just tedious. When you know the temple, like, if you are C average at this temple, it's just time consuming more than it is like, oh, I figured it out and it feels great to have figured it out. It's not that to me anymore. Maybe the first few times I played it, it felt that way. So we need to lower the level once again, because we need to go to that room right there where the spikes are. I'm gonna get hit. So we need to get away from Z targeting. We need to go into this room, but the water level is too high right now, so we're gonna have to lower it once again. And somewhere there's a block puzzle that I forgot to do. Or I pushed the block and it falls onto, not this one, but the next one. Over there. Yeah. And then you come out the other side. It's a whole thing, man. I swear you have to add 10 minutes for boot changes in this temple. Yeah. Don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe if you have not already. We are now on the path to 1,000 subs, and I need to apparently hit my hours before February. So at the top of the stream, I mentioned how YouTube has pissed off probably millions of creators because they have changed it to where now you need 8,000 hours instead of 4,000 hours. I went all the way around while I was talking. Which just means that if I don't hit my time by then, then I will have to double the amount of time. And I'm actually within reach. But anyway, adding it as an item in the 3DS version was a smart move in my opinion. Definitely not dissing this one though. Okay, so I think I'm missing a key. And I think it's the one all the way up where I need the long shot to get it. Because if I do all this work and go over there, the very next room has, you need a key to get through. So I actually need to backtrack. So I have lost a little bit of time here. Remind me, Dunk Nasty, the expert on here. I'm pretty sure that's the case. I need to go back and get the other key because it's just a waste of time to go through that room right now. Oh, and these things followed me. Fun. Correct. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's... I need to raise the water level all the way up so that I can come back down to, I want to say it's the one where you hit the arrow, you strike an arrow, and then you go across with your long shot. And it's all the way on the top floor, I believe. But I do have the long shot, so I could grab this Skulltula now. And you could also technically go back and grab the other Skulltula in the big platform room where we were messing around. Mid-level? Is it mid-level? Well, we're in the mid-level now, so I think it's the top level. We'll see. Where is this Skulltula? There it is. The long shot is so long after when you've had the hook shot for so long. That's how it feels. So not that door. Is it this one? Ah, that's the one. You were right. It's the mid-level. So bam. You are too good, Dunk Nasty. You know your stuff. And I believe this leads to the block puzzle situation. Yeah. So you have to go around the other way. Unless I screwed something up. No, I didn't. Then this is the other block you were talking about, yeah. So then when you come around the other side, you push the block in the other direction. So now my question is, do I need to raise the water level to do all that? Or can I do it from here? I think I should be able to. Even though he was falling off, I had to, yeah, change the water level again. So now we do go back through that door. This one over here. That's going to change the water level. Of course, there's a Tektite here. I kind of get why people don't like this dungeon, but I still love the water temple to this day. Can I do this without getting hit by the Tektite? Probably not. Alright. Yeah, like I've said it a few times already. It's the tedium is what gets me. It doesn't feel like an accomplishment. It just feels like, oh, I gotta go back there again. I made it a priority to practice this level until I knew it well. Yeah. You know it very well. Like, I can get through it, and I'll probably waste a little bit of time getting through it. Okay, so now I can go back down. Let me grab this Skulltula first. It's in this long room. What we'll do is we'll come back out and go down and try to find that block puzzle. And then that will be the key. Then I need to come all the way back around and finish it out. So if you skip all this crap, then you don't have to do that if you're interested in getting through here with speed. There's really no reason to have more than like 30 gold Skulltulas in this game anyway. Like, for the sake of finishing the game. If you want more than that, obviously go for it. So we will have to go here after we do what I was just talking about, which is on the opposite side, I believe. I always forgot about the room underneath the central chamber when you raise the water level. Yep, that's what we were talking about earlier, where when they changed that. They had to change that little cutscene because apparently it was not enough viewing time. I counted 1 Mississippi before the view of where you were supposed to go is done. And so people apparently complained enough. This is the wrong spot. I need the water level all the way down, don't I? I need it down just so I can do this section. And it's where the block was on the side. There's like a spot in the wall over, not there, but over here. So these are the mini sort of wastes of time that I've been doing. Like if you're not like perfectly tuned in to how to do this. So my thought here is go through there, lower the water level all the way, and then the hole that appears in the other side here allows you to go through and push the block and do all of that stuff. Is that right? I think it's right. If not, I've wasted like another 10 minutes. That's the thing. That's the thing with this temple. There's an efficient way to get everything done with a minimum of raising and lowering water levels, because otherwise, if you do one wrong, then it forces you to do the other two to get back to where you were, and by then you've done another 10 minutes of it. So, managing everything. And we didn't go into, I think we did this early, we didn't do the map room. Was it Nasty who said no map room? I'm stuck in here now, so. Real G's don't need no map. Yeah, I don't use the maps anymore in Zelda. Alright, not in Ocarina of Time, I mean. Like, utterly useless. Really. Oh, this is also like one of the only spots, along with in the Fire Temple, where when you fall a really long way, you don't take damage. Why? I don't know. Maybe because they made it... they made this room on purpose to where you had to fall down. So you don't take any damage. Even if you don't roll, you don't take damage. And then the other one is the big pillar room. That's my favorite fall in the game. You fall all the way down the Fire Temple Central into Darunia's room. This is the wrong way as well. I thought it was this one. And you go down and over. Or am I completely mixed up now? Yeah, this isn't it either. I'm trying to get to the block puzzle. The one we were talking about earlier. There's definitely a key there. So you go across. That gets you into the whirlwind room. The water whirlwind. So that's not it. Maybe it was that mid room. So yeah. You need to be back in the room with 6 Tektites. The long room with the vortexes. I felt like it was the block puzzle room. It's gonna be through here. If this is what you're talking about, then I just have to go forward into this room. And the block puzzle is elsewhere. The block puzzle one should be... Remember, there's another spot in that narrow corridor you gotta fall down. Takes you back side of the second block. Another spot in the narrow corridor. Which narrow corridor? That's the one I'm looking for. That's the one in my head that takes me to the block puzzle. So you were talking about this room here, but I don't remember what's on the other side of it. I do know there's a way where it drops you in, and where those boulders are, it gets you into like a secondary room within this room. On the back end of this. Yeah. You need to be where the boulders are coming from. So that you go around and there's a room with big steps and the manta ray looking things. Yeah, this one. Except there's more to it than just this one. It goes around and then you need that key again. Wow, absolutely wrecked these things. They all came out at the same time, so I don't have my I don't have a I almost said bigaton hammer. The bigaton hammer. To break these walls. Not all the walls break with the megaton hammer. Sometimes you still have to use a bomb. I need to open up the other side with another bomb. I feel like I still need to go back because I'm going to hit a room where I need a key, which is what I was saying before. I still need to go do the block puzzle. Not this block puzzle, but the other one. So this will raise the water level, but only in this room. Yeah, when you go into where the boulders are coming from, there is a door, or there's like there's a door there that requires a key. So that's what I'm saying, is I'm doing all of this to get to that spot, and I'm pretty sure you need a key there, which I have not accessed yet. So this opens you up to that spot. There's also a gold skulltula in this section. This is the 3 waterfall shuffle. And these I hate the Z targeting. No. Stupid. I couldn't get out of my Z target. That one's still up there? Thought he fell off. Oh no! I meant to go the other way. Wow, the frame rate drops were incredible. You can actually glide up those geysers. You might be able to make this jump from here. That's what I was trying to do, is you can make that jump, but I panicked in the middle of it and went to the right. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, is you get into this boulder area, and as soon as you come out from up here, you need the key. So I've done all this. And I don't have a key. We need the block room. The boss key, yeah, it gets you toward the boss key, and then you come right back out. So right here is a locked door. There it is. And the regular key is the block puzzle. Now I'm gonna get hit by this boulder. Oh, it's this way. Funny how it drops you into that side of it instead of it, so it makes you feel like you have to wrap your entire way around. It makes you feel like it's that side, but it's actually on the side you came in on, which is just, I guess that's just good map design, really. It wraps around in a circle, in a loop, rather than... I always forget these things chase you here. Trying to bypass this stupid thing. My confusion comes in the form of I think I need to come down while it's halfway up. The water level needs to be up one level, and then I can come back down to that room where the block should have been moved. Or it's simply back in the arrow spot. Now, because I moved it over one, so if you go back through, you can go to where the block puzzle should be. If I'm making any sense. Or rather, if I'm not making any sense, let me know. So we are now halfway up. And so the block puzzle's on the other side of this thing. But I think you have to access it from here. Is that right? No, that's not right. Now I'm really messing this up. You didn't actually need to take the water level down. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like the first time, like 20 minutes ago. Because I was up to the... Before doing all of that stuff, I had the water level... I think it was all the way up. Now I have it to halfway up. So that's different. Is it this corridor? Maybe it is. Because it's the other side of the other... Nope. There's a gold skulltula on this side, I believe. So this isn't it either. But I think it's like the compass or something. Yeah, this is the compass. Oh, I'm not fast enough to do it. And now I've wasted way more energy than just doing it the normal way. So the corridor wraps... It's like a U shape. I'm thinking out loud. I could be wrong. It's a U-shaped corridor. There's a separate room, completely separate from this one, where there's a gold skulltula behind like a set of bars. So if this is midway, it could be that side. This is where you do... So that got us to the block puzzle. I gotta tell you, I'm kind of lost. I know exactly where it is that I want to go, that block puzzle, but I don't know where it is. This is going to raise the water level, which I don't think I want to do. Water level needs to be high. Is it because of the placement of this? There's like a section where it's this block. It moves out of the way. Is that what it is? So it's just on the route to getting the master key, the boss key, because we already have the long shot to go up to the room. Didn't you say this temple was easy? Funny enough, I know no one will believe me at this point, but I have not struggled with the water temple this much. Usually I do that block puzzle and you're straight through. The hard part was what most people miss, on your way to fighting Dark Link. So it's not usually a point of contention, but it's literally one room away. I think it's this one. There's a treasure chest, or it says there's a treasure chest down here. Yeah. That's what I've been looking for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What is this? Is it from the other side? What have I done now? Yeah, the key is directly in front, so it needs to be pushed from the side. Lil Nasty skips his nap to watch this. I'm sorry, Lil Nasty. Are you coping, Link Slayer? Just a groan. Ugh. That's how I heard it in my head. Ugh. How to access the side. That's my way out of the temple. Don't need to go that way. What you said was, but I'm saying a confused like, huh? Alright, fair. Fair. That's the boss room over there, where we're going to use the ice arrows, by the way. I have not even equipped my ice arrows, but it's like the only place where the ice arrows are actually useful. But I skip it. Usually I skip it all together by, if you run down the right side of it, it tends to make it a whole lot easier. So, you'll see when we get there. Like I said, I never have the ice arrows coming into here, or even the Bigoron sword. That's like, you went out of your way to do something, you know? Oh, hell no. Why are you guys in here? Stinger. Okay. I don't think there's these in other Zelda games either. Not in this form. I think this is what I was talking about, where there's a gold Skulltula. Oh yeah, remember you have to go through the arrow shot and hook shot again. Do you? You have to do that twice? Oh no, this is the compass room. Because, of course. Oh, I missed that. Just barely. We'll go back through the compass room, I guess. You have to dive back through it. Because the water level's up right now, I believe. And that is... I don't think that's the answer. For whatever reason, I think it's actually go all the way down and then make my way through that spot. Because it doesn't make sense. And it's one room. First time, you go to a certain way. The second time gives you the chest. Yeah, it's because the block gets pushed in the other direction, but it's one of these. I've gone down there a million times, and it's not the one. It's not the torch room at all. Unless my water level's all screwed up, which I'm pretty sure it's not. I thought it was this area because that's where the block... Initially, you push the block from here when you have the water level down. And that's like the only time you need this particular spot. And then it wraps around. But it's in the mid-level. Linkslayer is right. First time. I mean, but that would require the mid-level. You said I need the... You said I needed the water level to be all the way up. I can't get through there unless I go... I can't get through there unless I go to the middle level. Which means I'm back to going water level all the way down and then halfway up again. It's through the gate though. Okay, I was lying then. Confused myself. Oh, the expert confused himself then, huh? So just running around and talking makes it difficult, huh? I'm giving you a hard time. You did things in a slightly different order than I'm used to. That's alright, man. I'm confusing myself at this point. Plenty. I had to think myself for a second. I don't feel too bad. No, I don't feel bad at all. This is more interesting than having to do this by myself. Because here's the thing, and you can't push it. Because if you look at the map, the chest is right in front of me. So I need to go around and push the block. Essentially, it's to my left. So from the left side of this hallway, I need to push this thing. Or it might even be a pull. Either way, it's fine. It wouldn't be the water temple without getting a bit lost. No, this is the first time in maybe 3 or 4 tries that I've gotten lost. The funny thing is knowing exactly what it is you need and you can't get there, as opposed to just being completely and utterly lost. Okay, so I am, in order to go halfway, I need to go all the way down and then go back to the door room that gets me halfway up. Super annoying. So that's the room I need. It's right there. This one here is actually where I need to be, except I need it when it's halfway up. So this is what we're talking about, correct? Just to be sure. Yeah, that one. All right. Fair. I don't remember having to go through it twice, is what I am thinking of. Or maybe if and when I confuse myself through this temple, then I end up doing it twice anyway. So, we'll see. We gotta go down to go up. Temple can be done with just 2 cycles. Yeah, that sounds right. If I had just done that the first time, then because I have now changed the water level throughout the entire cycle. I think this is my 3rd time doing it, and I didn't need to do it that 3rd time. Just gotta work efficiency and do all the things you can at each level. Why did I come into this room? Okay, this is one where I was talking about where you don't take any damage. So even if you don't roll, you don't take damage there. Technically, you can go through that way. You just came to pull it out to the spot without going through the gate, but you will need to use the gate after. Yeah, I can't get through without that gate, so that's why I showed you guys that spot, but then you have to... It's just weird because it feels like it's this... Where was it? I know we talked about going back through, but we're going to do it like this real quick. Wait, no I don't, because this has water in it. Stupid. So if you think about this room as having a basement level, because it still has water in it, then that's how it would have to work. So even though the water is all the way down, there's still water in that block room. Which is just like one extra inconvenience without it technically showing up on the map that way, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. That's the animation I was talking about, by the way. For those of you who showed up a little bit later, the hole underneath that block is where most people get stuck in this temple. They either don't see that or they forget that it was there. And then they don't go through it. So you guys are saying go back through here. Gotta do it twice. Yeah, so this is the left. That's what I meant by pushing it to my left. So if this is where I came from, then this is where it was before. Right? So I was looking at it from this side and it needed to go left. So you go around and push it that way. And then that's where the fairies are. We were talking about this earlier. So I thought it was the other room. That was where you bomb that wall very early on in Princess Ruto's room, that mid-level room. But in fact, this is where there should be a fairy. Or two. Nope. The fairies are in the boss door room. And now, yeah, now we go back to the Tektite room. So that was it. That's basically the entire... that's basically this whole temple. If I had just done that right in the first place. Now you go back to the Tektite room, which is on the top floor. You go all the way over and across, so now we have to do that. So we need to raise the water level again. Let's just go to the central room. And it's also funny how it moves that. So that is not accessible unless the water level's up. So you can actually, I think you can leave the temple at this point, and if you come back, it may reset it. But it's funny because we're on this top level without you doing that, and what I need is that door right there, but I have to go there. So, interesting. Just weird stuff mechanically going on. Why not use the Scarecrow song? Is there a spot there that does that? Why did I just fall down? I'm gonna take responsibility for this. I might have told you to change the water level to high prematurely. That's alright because in my head it was actually all the way at the bottom. So, in essence, we were both wrong. Because I would not have come through this door right here to raise the water level. I would have been in the middle level that entire time. But I would have been hunting on the ground floor. So that's what happened. So the door to my left is where we're going. This one. And then this should make it... Oh, no. No, we're not. We're going downstairs. There's a scarecrow right next to the song area. Is there? So raising the water level up is just because we're going to need it for the boss room. I can never get that scarecrow. Yeah, I tried it too. That's where I was trying to get the, that first Gold Skulltula. And I didn't do that. It's just a weird, I don't know. This is the room where the spikies follow you. So, long shot. So, again, to recap, your entire process of doing this temple is try to get to Dark Link. You need 3 keys. One of the keys is in the block underneath the song. The first one is in the room where you meet Princess Rudo. It's at the bottom. The other one is in the cage room that has the swirly bits. If you know what I'm talking about, then you're already pretty good at doing this temple. By then you have 3 keys, and then you have to do the long shot room twice. You know, the arrow and long shot room twice to move the block and get the key. Then you can come back here. And we're gonna get the boss key. And that is basically it. So you need 4 keys, is that right? 4 keys gets you here. As long as Navi is focused on it, it should work. Yeah, Navi has to turn green for that to work. Why do they all attack me at once? That does not happen in my version of the cartridge. My other 1.2 cartridge and 1.1. They just really like my Bigoron sword, I guess. And then the thing here is always knock these spiders off because they're super annoying. Because then you can't grab the platform. There we go. And then you can make this jump without getting to the 3rd geyser. Alright, boulder. And then there's going to be a spiky clam thing down here. Which is another euphemism for a bad girlfriend. And... I'm sorry. There's a weird time delay with the sound. Your talking is on point, but game sound is behind. Yep. That is the same sound delay issue I had earlier. If I switch over to where my chat is, so I can see you guys, it delays it. Hopefully it's not like a huge delay. I need to find some way to fix that because I can't change Windows essentially without it sparking a delay. So these pots have fairies in them, possibly, but so does the room where you go to the boss. So what I used to do here to not have to navigate my entire way around, it is definitely more delayed since last time, but I remember that it was there. Yeah. Sorry about that. I will have to fix that. So yeah, my microphone has separate audio than the game, obviously. So that's why that's happening. And it seems to happen when I switch windows. So I think it has to be linked to a setting where it's trying to grab audio from my desktop on my computer that's sitting here where everything is plugged into. And that's what's happening. If any of you have messed around with OBS, then you will know that deep in the settings, that sort of happens. Can't wait for the ice arrows to be relevant. They will not be. They are. It's a very short-lived relevancy, by the way. If I had Furor's Wind, I would warp to the beginning of this temple, but since I don't, I'm doing this. Otherwise I have to track my way all the way back around. This is how I do it. There is literally a single spot where the ice arrows are relevant in the water temple. And then there's the whole bongo bongo thing, which it's not really relevant so much as it is a cool animation that you don't get elsewhere. I'll just put it that way. So you may be utterly disappointed by the ice arrows, as I was. But here we go. Oh, the frame rate drops. It's always bugged me that you're right at the very start of this temple, and climbing onto that platform takes forever. So again, if you don't have fairies, at least I made the ice arrows better in Majora's Mask. Yeah. Here's your fairies if you weren't already full of them. And there's one more here. So bam. Here we go. So this is literally the only room. As I said before, the only room. So my way that I like to do it, and I'm going to jinx myself, I'm sure, is if you time this just right, you can just go down the right side, and it's not even a problem. Like see how easy that is? But if you don't want to do that, and you're supposed to use these items as you were meant to, then presumably you're down here, and if the developers hadn't messed with the arrow, the items and the iron boots and all that crap, then you use the arrows like that. That is literally it. That's the whole thing. Now, are they useful at Morpha? I don't know. That isn't normal water over there. Okay, this is funny as well because you're not supposed to get that text until you jump onto the platform. From my experience, you do not get Navi's text until you jump on one of the platforms. So did I walk over to my right side and that's what caused it? You jump over here and that's when Morpha appears. Okay, I've never done that. Yeah, that's it. 1.0 stuff, probably. Yeah, I'd have to check. I'm pretty sure that does not happen until you jump. Because by then it's like, oh no, it's too late. Now, I hate Morpha. So do any of you have any tips? I absolutely hate Morpha. Super annoying. And I don't mean annoying in like, oh, I'm annoyed because it's difficult to fight Morpha. I'm annoyed because the movement pattern of Morpha and you trying to use your long shot, like if you stand in a spot that is like very straight, it's sort of okay. But otherwise, it's annoying. So like, she moves around, so this is what I mean by being straight on. If you just sit here, see that should be a straight shot, but it's not. And I know there is a way to like put Morpha into this corner and then Morpha can't leave like at all. And you can just finish the entire fight in one go. But in the meantime, her second tentacle or whatever, jelly, is trying to smack you. Like, that should be spot on, and it's not. And that has always made me mad. And then there's no catching her when you do it here. The worst boss, in my opinion. Super annoying. Yeah, like I said, it's not about the fight itself. It's just the mechanic of grabbing the damn thing, right? I'm sure those of you who are very good at it stand in the corner and trap Morpha, and you can essentially defeat Morpha without ever doing anything else. But this part of it just does not work very well. I do like Link's screams. Is that a weird thing? See, And then on the off chance that you do get Morpha out, she hits the wall. There it is. His screams are peak. Imagine being the voice actor for Link in this game and just sitting in a room with a microphone and padded walls, and you're just asked to scream in pain. That's it. That's your whole job. No words, just ah! That's it. Ah, I messed up. Nothing. You'd think it'd have a really cool use. The ice arrow, I mean. It's all about the corners. Yeah, there's just like a good angle to do it at, right? And sometimes it's just annoying. Bigeron sword for the win. You almost had it in a corner, yeah. You can absolutely get it trapped in that corner and do it. But it takes twice as long with the Master Sword, so... How many hits did it take of the Bigeron? Like 3? 4? I still find it annoying. Too bad Mirror Shield doesn't do anything against Volvagia. That would be so cool if that worked. The Mirror Shield is another one of those things that in every game, I say every game, it's only like 3 games, where it's seemingly useful at the very end of the game, and it's such a cool item. It's such a cool item. Let's grab this heart. I don't want to accidentally warp out of here. Yeah, the Mirror Shield is such a cool item, and it's too late in the game, like every time. In Link's Awakening, it's very late. In this game, it's the last dungeon, presumably. Is it in Majora's Mask in some capacity? I have not beaten Majora's Mask. You guys can, that would be an utterly confusing time. If that's a game that you guys would like to see me absolutely confused and struggle through. Because I never beat it as a kid, and I didn't go back to try to do it. And it's sitting, I'm looking at it right now. I've got the cartridge. The gold cartridge sitting right in front of me. On my setup here. I would have expected no less from the man I chose to be my husband. I've never beat Majora's either. You definitely should run it. Oh, we'll have to. We will have to. Perhaps after this one. It's going to be some very confusing gameplay. I grant my eternal love to you. Again, he just like gasps. I have to guard the water temple as a sage of water. Thanks, fish lady. Dunk started it, and we both got super frustrated with it, so it's been sitting in the box for a while. It would be cool and would probably inspire us to pick it back up. Maybe it's next. I love the sounds of the medallions. Not just the music, but there's like an echoey reverb. There's a droplet of water that hits water. Just goes just like that. That's my impression of a water droplet hitting water. Also played it as a kid and just couldn't cope. Yeah. It's a funny thing because there are people who are like, oh, I'm a perfectionist, and you can't, it's one of those games where you literally can't save everyone. Like you have to run back through it and play the Song of Time in reverse or whatever to back everything up or slow down time. And there are only so many things on your log, like your daily log, journal, whatever it's called, your bomb journal, and you can't do everything. So yeah, the stages of grief after all. Yeah, not just that, but it's also the mythology of Sisyphus, the Greek mythology. Sisyphus, by the way, is a great name for a rock and roll station. You know, non-stop rock and roll. Sisyphus FM, the home of non-stop rock and roll. That's my radio voice. You gotta be an ultra nerd to understand that reference, but that's what it is. Groundhog Day, the repeat. The water level's back up. Hey, I can get my fire arrows. But I still can't go to Kakariko Village and start the Shadow Temple. Why? Because you don't get that cutscene until you finish the Fire Temple, apparently? Sounds like a GTA radio station. Yeah. Oh, the radio stations in GTA were great. The talk radio, like, they were all funny, is what I remember. I like Flashback FM, because it was all the music from Scarface. Like that early 80s playlist. It's finish forest, fire, and water to trigger it. Yeah. So we have done forest and water. So from here out. So what's our next thing here? I don't need the Megaton Hammer to finish the Spirit Temple, I don't think. But I do need the Lens of Truth, which I have. So the Spirit Temple, I believe, is going to be next. You're right. But first... Oh, the general consensus is Spirit Temple. Absolutely. Nasty Fam, Spirit. Link Slayer, Spirit. Spirit for me as well. I believe there's a Gold Skulltula here at night. Maybe it's just when you're a kid. I don't know. It's like on this pillar right here, this column. That is not what I meant to do, but cool. Okay, I thought it was right here. Maybe it only happens when you're a kid. That's why Navi turned green. So Spirit Temple it is. We already did the Gerudo Thieves, the fortress, which means we already have what we need to just go into the haunted wasteland. We have the Lens of Truth because we did that earlier. Now the question is, do I have everything? I do. I have everything I need. I have the long shot. Do I need the hover boots? I think you can get across the river of sand or whatever without the hover boots. If you just use the long shot onto like a wooden crate that's sitting there, I should be okay. Otherwise, I don't think there's a need for the hover boots. And then you still don't need hover boots. Perfect. And then you still can't do the Shadow Temple without finishing the Fire Temple. So I guess our order has been decided. Spirit Temple, you can have Epona kill this Tektite. That's like my favorite thing to do with Epona. If you just line her up, she'll take out that Tektite. So we have done forest, water. We're going to do spirit, fire, shadow. And in between all of that, we did, after the forest temple, before the water temple, we got the Lens of Truth. And we also got the ice arrows for whatever strange reason. That's what we decided. That was a big Poe. I made a whole thing about getting all the big posts, so there's a video if you guys want to check that out for whatever reason. I think you're all experts here. So, but I do have people actually come back and watch my playlist of all of my live streams. They come back through and they comment. They either comment here or on my shorts. Like little quirks about stuff, or they want to tell me, hey, this is how you're supposed to do it. It's like, lucky for you, I've made a playlist of me doing that exact same thing. Alright, so we've done all of this already, so it's kind of fun to just, I can just walk through here now. Now it should be that crate. I'm pretty sure it's that crate that we can long shot to, because otherwise I do not have my hover boots. You go into the desert, I'll open this gate for you, but you can't cross the desert unless you pass the 2 trials. First trial is the river of sand. You can't walk across this river. After you cross it, follow the flags we placed there. The second trial is the Phantom Guide. So this is the Phantom Guide I was talking about. Yes, you can memorize the path, but it doesn't trigger you doing the guided tour until you pop the lens of truth on him. So that's the annoying part, is that has to be triggered, otherwise it won't work. Oh, I almost forgot because I didn't do this last time. I wanted to show you guys this. Many of you probably know it already, but I want to get it on video. Oh, is she gone? Is she only in one particular spot? That sucks. I want to see where the guard, whose clothes you can change, but there's one other thing you can do because of the way the colors are done in this game. So that's really, it's really a funny thing. If you know what I'm talking about, type it out. I think I mentioned it to you guys. I just didn't do it on the live stream last time. So not only can you change her colors by changing your tunic, but there's something else you could do. That is if she's here. If she's not, then not gonna work. Okay, she's not there. If she's not here, then she's gone, because there's 4 of these. Did I already do this? Cross to the other side. This may have been the wrong side to go to. I don't know. Nope, she is not here. Does she really? I guess she disappears after that. Or have I just not gone to the right spots? Did I mess something up? Went to the wrong spot. Let's try this last spot. If she's not here, then we will head out. Not that way. Nope, she's gone. Yep, she is gone. I think we searched all 4 spots. So what I wanted to show you guys was when you have that guard, and obviously you can change your tunic colors and it will change the color that she's wearing as well as her lipstick colors. The same thing is true for when you have a bomb in hand. When the fuse is lit on a bomb, it will do the same thing. And so you can actually make her clothes go basically every color. It just blinks from one color to the next while the bomb is also blinking, because that same color is hooked to the code of her color as well. So that's really funny to see. Her outfit just blinks and blinks like the bomb does. And you can do the same thing with the bomb chew, I believe. So because we can't get across this, that's your way across. And now, obviously our map is just a big square here, and you're supposed to follow the flags. You can even hook shot from one post to the next if you want, because otherwise the game says, oh, you're lost, so you start at the very beginning again. Where are we going now? So the Ghost Tour, the Poe Tour Phantom Guide thing is up there. But I always love to do this. I always thought it was stupid you should be able to backflip on the left side because it is close together, but the game won't let you cross without the long shot. This is a cool spot. I do like this spot. You're talking about backflipping across the river of sand, I guess. Is that what you're talking about? At least in my randomizer. Hey, that's the first time in a while I have actually gotten a rupee from a chest and my wallet wasn't already full. So Breath of the Wild did something similar in the desert region as well, where like you're trying to navigate and to find like the desert skeleton or whatever, the Leviathan, if I remember correctly, in Breath of the Wild, and it scrambles your map. So I always thought that was cool. The Lost Woods does the same thing. It just turns into a square, and there's no in or out. There's nothing. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Is even if you know how to get there, even if you know your way, which is basically just straight and it's a triangle, because the Poe just leads you in 3 congruent triangles and then takes you like east. And that's all you really need to do. But when you're here, you can't activate it until you have the Lens of Truth, so you still have to do that. Unless you guys know of some other weird glitch situation, but here you have to do it. There's no starting this without it. So we've got our Lens of Truth, and here we go. So notice the movement. I thought you didn't need the lens. Yeah, you need it. It won't let you do this. I always thought this section of the game was if you were a Lord of the Rings fan, Gollum is guiding you through like the marshlands and stuff, and there's just nothing. There's just death. There's nothing else here. I've seen people that have memorized it, but that's what I'm saying, is there is no way to memorize. Or you can obviously memorize the position, but can you just go through? It won't let you. The game will say you're lost regardless of whether you have the positions memorized. See how we're just doing a triangle? From this crate over, we're just doing a triangle. And you have to do that like 3 times, and then it takes you, see those 2 flags over there? If you try to go toward those 2 flags, before the Poe has sent you around that triangle, then it will assume you were lost and it will kick you back out. It will spit you back out of the game, of the desert. You're saying even if you have it memorized, it won't let you into the Desert Colossus unless you trigger the Poe. That's exactly what I'm saying. I guess I should have tested that before we did that, but I'm pretty sure, because I've tried that before. I've tried to do this out of order, or maybe I just try to come to the Desert Colossus before ever doing the other stuff, and there was no way across. It won't. The game will not trigger you doing that. That's what I'm saying. Now, if there's some sort of weird glitch that will allow you to do that, that's a different story, but in my regular gameplay, it won't let you do it. This is Nairu's Love, I believe. Pretty sure people have beaten the game legit without the lens. Okay, that's fair. This is like the other weird fire thing. I've mentioned this a million times, but you would think that the fire would be the thing that you're getting. So this would be blue flame, and Din's fire would be red, and Furore would be green, but that's not the case. So this is Nairu's Love. You think it would be blue, and instead we have green fire. The Poe takes you to the left side of the map, but it actually connects on the right side as well. So the line that the map takes you on, if you try to do it without the Poe, the game just says, nah, you didn't do it. Even if you know it. That's kind of what I'm saying. You have to trigger the Poe for the game to decide that you are worthy of going through. But if you guys know something I don't, and can get through without the ghost, then that would be cool to see. I don't know that I've seen that. Glitchless. Like in Ganon's castle, they made it so you can do that one section without the lens. Well, that section without the lens is not as involved as this one. Like from the coding standpoint, the Boolean flag, or I don't know if Cult of Glenda is still in here. You have to trigger that for it to allow you to get through. You can absolutely do the Ganon's castle, that little section of, I think it's the Spirit Temple. You don't need the Lens of Truth. It would be interesting to check though. What do you all think the these great fairies are gonna look like in the remake? I don't remember this cutscene getting this close to her face on my 1.2 version cartridge. Can anyone confirm that? This is like up in her nose, up in her grill right now. I'm a little scared, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they weren't that, like, you know, overdone. But if they make this, they would never do that. It's an E for everyone game. But if they made it anything else... My parents always came... It's like when you're watching a show you shouldn't be when you're 10 years old, and your parents come into the room, and that's the first thing they hear. Anyway. Anyone watch Tremors? Anyone remember that movie? With Kevin Bacon? How did he hit me? I was at the stairs already. Yeah, if they made it a little more realistic. Yeah, the seaweed alone would be enough. Come on, I know you're gonna hit me. I do like this. I did a whole video on duality. I need to make like a whole freaking video essay about the Spirit Temple and how I believe that this is the best temple that defines specifically Ocarina of Time. There's so many different examples of duality. There's symmetry across time, there's symmetry with geography. There is the fact that the desert colossus, of which there's a whole separate like history of Hyrule, where she's got one hand here and the other hand there. You know, there's a mirror shield on this one, and then there's the silver gauntlets in this one. Obviously, across time, being there are tasks that you can only complete as a child that you can't do as an adult, and vice versa. The boss is a two-parter. You know, fire and ice. Like there's just so much to talk about. But I think this perfectly exemplifies what Ocarina of Time, the entire mechanic of time itself, is exemplified by this temple. And it's really cool that it's here in the inscriptions that you get to read all of this stuff. If you want to proceed to the past, you should return here with the pure heart of a child. And then on the other side, it tells you, if you want to travel to the future, you should return here with the power of silver from the past. Some cursory research tells me the Colossus can be reached without lens. I know I've seen speedrunners do it. We'll have to check that out. I'll have to do my research there and see about that. I wondered if this temple had any connection between Twilight Princess and Tears of the Kingdom temples. I mean, they were done after the fact, so absolutely that could be the case. Want to know something really funny? I think I was trying to speed run. This was years ago. I was trying to get through this really fast. And when I remembered, as soon as I got here and I remembered that you can't go this way because you need to be a kid, I played the warp song, the Prelude of Light to the Temple of Time. And I did not do the cutscene that gave me the Requiem of Spirit. And so the closest place you can warp to is freaking Lake Hylia. So I had to walk my candy ass all the way back because I was way too ahead of myself and I did not trigger this cutscene. And so I couldn't warp. I couldn't warp back here. And I need to do, again, this is like other separate video ideas that I've had, but what is the longest distance if you had to walk? What is the absolute longest distance you have to walk in this game? And I'm pretty sure my answer was either Death Mountain Crater all the way to the Desert Colossus into the Spirit Temple, or it may even be the Sacred Forest Meadow, like where the Forest Temple is, all the way out to the Desert Colossus. But it always ended with Desert Colossus. So having to do that again was just a pain in the ass. And that absolutely happened to me. And it's like 15 minutes of walking in an era when fast travel was barely a thing. I mean, we have warp songs, but it's not like, I don't know, playing Skyrim or something where you can just bump over to a different part of the map once you've been there on foot. Speaking of screwing yourself, I recently successfully clipped through the Door of Time, and after only completing First Child Dungeon, locked myself out of Song of Time and Bombs. That is amazing, actually. I think because we've all played this game so much, it's actually interesting to find ways to block yourself out of the game. And if that's one of them, that's really funny. Cool song. All the songs are awesome, but it's always been interesting to me how only having essentially 5 notes and you can create all the major themes from 5 notes. Of course, they're extended upon, you know, after you finish playing the song, but it's still really cool that Koji Kondo got that, you know, was good enough to make that happen. That's super cool. I'm not big on glitches at all, but I've always wanted to try it. Yeah, the clipping through the door of time is an interesting one for sure. Alright, I believe this is probably a good time to... Actually, let's just do this real quick. Let's come back as a kid, and then we will stop. So we will start the new stream. And I'm actually thinking of trying to stream a little bit more. As I said when I started today's stream, is I got back from a vacation. So I was away for... I don't know when my last stream was. Probably a Thursday or something. But I am back and streaming. So I will probably try to get... You can get Nairu's? What? What now? I did get Nairu's. Nairu's Love in the desert? Or do you mean glitching your way and getting it early? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so we're going to stop here. I'm just going to get inside the temple and save. And we will start the next stream. What is today? Is it Wednesday? It's freaking Wednesday. Tonight is actually Halo night. I don't know if I'm going to do a Halo night tonight or not. That's usually what I do. But I have been tired from traveling. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I may do it, I may not. Maybe I'll do a Spirit Temple stream tomorrow. What am I talking about? Alright. So this is where you see Nabooru. Finally, after everything you've been through, there's Nabooru. But we're going to stop here, so thank you guys again for watching the chaos. The chaos that is the Water Temple is just... It is something else. We all experienced it. We've all been through it. It was definitely more fun than trying to do the Water Temple by yourself. So thank you guys again. It's always fun. Always has been fun. And we will continue, I'm thinking, tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow, if I'm not still just busy, full of all sorts of things. So, but if not, Tuesdays, I will be back on. So, thank you guys, and see you then. Great stream as always. Thank you, Linkslayer. Good times. All right. Peace.